Hey everyone, my name is Sahil and this is my Personal Finance Academy. In one of my recent videos, I discussed why you should invest in India now. It is one of the fastest growing economy and poised to grow for the next 20 to 30 years. Now there were requests to create video on sectors and themes that would benefit from India's growth journey. And I was doing my research and came across this amazing report from Macquarie that mentioned 10 mega themes shaping India and stocks to invest within each theme. And I'm totally on the same page with their research report. I also genuinely feel that these 10 mega themes would really shape India's future. So in this video, I've discussed those 10 mega themes and companies that would benefit from those themes. So let's not waste any time and get started with the list. Number one theme is consumption and demographic tailwind. As we already discussed, India is among the youngest countries in the world and there is rise in income and spending level that is driving the consumption in the country. Today's youth do not think twice before spending money towards experiences and luxuries. They give preference to quality over price. As per Macquarie, consumption is one key trend with 10 to 15% annual visible growth over the next decade. It says Generation Z and millennials account for over 50% of India's population and are set to enter their prime earning and spending years. We estimate India's consumer wallet to grow 2.4 times by FY30 with share of discretionary rising towards 40%, which in turn would imply a fourfold increase in lifestyle spends. Now some of the stocks mentioned by Macquarie in consumption theme include Asian Paints, HUL, Godrej Consumer, Zomato, Titan, D-Mart, Havells and Apollo Hospital. I think this is a pretty good list. What do you think? Did they miss any stock in the consumption theme? Let me know in the comments. Also, please do not blindly invest based on this list. Try to understand the business of each company before investing your hard-earned money. You can also explore my online course on money management to learn how to do fundamental analysis of a company. Now next theme is financial inclusion. Macquarie says that since 2015, the number of accounts under India's flagship financial inclusion scheme has grown 3.5 times to 440 million, that is one-third of India's population. Financial inclusion has been at the core of government's reform agenda. As India spread the net of financial services deep, we see opportunities across credit, financial services, distribution and deposits. Even I believe that there is immense growth potential in the financial sector in India, especially from the rural part of the country. The rural part of country is still untapped and that would create huge growth opportunity in the next few decades. Macquarie's top picks across India's financial sector are HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and SBI. What do you think about this list? Can you also add any stock in financial inclusion theme? Let me know in the comment. Now third theme is financialization of savings and credit. Now that there is an increase in income and more white collar jobs, people want to invest their money. Earlier, this investment was mainly in the form of gold, land, FD or people would keep money at home. But now there are multiple avenues to invest the money. Also the fact that now interest rates are very low. So more and more people are looking to invest money in Indian economy. Then there's huge surge in credit card spend in last few years. Still, the credit card industry in India is in its nascent stage. No wonder, over the last few years, we have a huge list of startups in fintech space. Macquarie says that by far the biggest story in savings mobilization in recent year has been the rise of alternate channels to the banking system via growing allocation to insurance, mutual funds and direct investment. Its favorite stock in financialization of saving and credit theme include HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Life Insurance and SBI Cards. Now fourth mega theme shaping India is Make in India and manufacturing. As we all know, India has been a world leader in IT services over the last few decades, but it has certainly lagged in manufacturing sector. And in spite of having the required workforce as well as the resources, we could not capitalize on the manufacturing and lagged far behind China. But now, Indian government is very clear about increasing the overall contribution of manufacturing in the Indian GDP. Macquarie says the stars are aligned for a manufacturing renaissance in India. Never before has government intent, policy and global supply chain dynamics come together in this fashion. So over the past few years, we have seen schemes like PLI, Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat that would boost the manufacturing sector in India. Also, the global players are looking for alternative to China. So that has created huge opportunity in manufacturing space. In Make in India and manufacturing basket, Macquarie has an outperformance rating on Divis Lab, Bajaj Auto, Havells India, Cipla, TVS Motor and Solara Active Pharma. Now, fifth mega theme is booming services trade. India is already the leader in IT services in the world and would continue to dominate this space. And now that the future is digital, Indian IT companies would get a huge pie from the planned technology spend across the world, especially from the countries like US and UK. Macquarie says Indian IT services companies remain well positioned for structural market share in a $1 trillion and rising opportunity. Indian IT sector earnings are seen compounding at 15% within the next 5 years. Within this trend, Macquarie likes large cap services companies and its preferred picks are Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech and TCS. Next mega theme is building and upgrading India. There is no doubt that for India to grow in the coming decade, its infrastructure has to improve. And Indian government is highly focused towards the infra sector in India. Macquarie says India's planned $1.5 trillion infrastructure and related monetization pipeline are worth a bet as opportunities will be broad-based across highways, railways, energy, urban infrastructure and rural housing. As per Macquarie, stocks with exposure to this theme and with the highest potential earning growth on a 5-year basis include Concor, Ultratech Cement, ACC, ABB India, Siemens India, Adani Ports, L&T and KEC. Now next mega theme is energy transition. As we have discussed in the past, non-renewable sources are unsustainable. And in order to meet the growing demand for energy, the only sustainable solution is renewable sources. Also the fact that India has huge dependence on oil import that significantly burn its dollar reserve. So overall, Indian government has planned to reduce this dependency on oil and focus on alternate fuels and renewable sources of energy. Macquarie says India is set to contribute 1/4 of global energy demand growth over the next 2 decades. We anticipate long-term opportunities in renewable, alternate fuels and upgraded infrastructure. Within this sector, Macquarie suggested names like Reliance Industry, Tata Power, NTPC, Power Grid, ABB, Siemens, GAIL, Petronet LNG and HPCL. Now next mega theme is formalization. Over the past few years, Indian government has taken a lot of measures like GST, digitization, etc. that has resulted in more formalization within the economy. Think about this. Earlier you could pay in cash without any receipt to buy any product from local store. Since that was a cash transaction, government can't track it. Hence, local business owner would avoid paying taxes to government and they would pass on some of those benefits to end customer. So you would get the product at lower cost from the local store as compared to an organized retail shop that gives you the proper receipt at higher cost as they need to pay taxes to government. And in order to save some money, you would buy stuff from local store. However, now due to GST, even the local store would give you the receipt and pay taxes to government. So the price gap between the organized player and unorganized player has reduced. And that has resulted in people buying more stuff from organized player. And that is one trend that would continue to happen. In the coming decade, more and more market would be captured by organized player. So Macquarie says digitization, GST, manufacturing tax cut, import duties, production link incentive continue to support new business registration momentum in India. Although I could not find any stock picks within this formalization theme, but at high level, I think that retail chains like your D-Mart, Reliance Retail, Trent, Titan would benefit from this formalization theme. In fact, there are many more companies that would benefit from this shift in unorganized to organized market. For example, you have Relaxo in organized footwear, Estel Poly, Prince Pipe in piping sector, Polycab, Havells in lighting and wire space, then Dr. Lal, Thyrocare, Metropolis in diagnosis sector, etc. Now next theme is digitization. Needless to say, digital is the future and digitization would result in huge growth for companies that have digital at its core. Although I did not find any stock name from Macquarie, but I believe that names like CDSL, Apple India, CAMS, Talla Platform, InfoEdge, etc. are going to benefit from this digitization theme. In fact, there are a lot of promising startups, although majority of them are currently in losses. But in the future, we can expect good growth from new age startup companies in India. Now, final mega theme shaping India would be agriculture. Macquarie says opportunity in agriculture and elite sector accounts for over 40% of jobs and 17% of GDP in India, and the country ranks second in the world on gross value added by agriculture and elite sector at $480 billion, after China at $1 trillion. Notwithstanding India's recent backstep on farm reform, we see opportunities in crop protection, chemical, irrigation, credit flow, exports. Its preferred exposure to rising crop protection and agrochemical use is rallies and UPL. It also likes the business model of Bayer Crop Science, Sumitomo Chemical, PI Industries, but finds the valuation stressed. In the commercial vehicle segment, it is bullish on Mahindra & Mahindra. So in this video, we discuss the top 10 mega themes that would shape India's future. If I summarize, the mega theme include consumption and demographic tailwind, financial inclusion, financialization of saving and credit, make in India and manufacturing, service sector, building and upgrading India, energy transition, formalization of economy, digitization and agriculture. So overall, I think that it is a very comprehensive list of mega themes for India. Do you think any theme missing from the list? Do mention it in the comment. Also tell me what do you think about this list. I hope you will find this video useful. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.